Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasakura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Hare
Harita Mataji, can we start? Harita Mataji, can we start?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Harita from Texas, welcoming all of you to this mid-morning japa session of Bhakti Sangha. Wishing all a happy appearance day of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, who is the Guru Maharaj of our Srila Prabhupada. I thank all of you for attending this session. So let us move, before moving to our next session of this day, I would request the devotees to please introduce themselves.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for giving your association every day, Mataji, and all glories to your services. And welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, happy appearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Guru Maharaj of our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha every day and attending this session. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Mataji, do you want to start the recording, Mataji? Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa session. So today, our speaker is Her Grace Preethi Vilasini Mataji, and the topic she will be speaking on is Caitanya Bhagavata Antya Kanda. It's from 5.4 to 1 to 436. Hare Krishna, Preethi Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to your services, Mataji, and thank you for giving your valuable time and association and enlightening us on this topic. Before handing over the call to you, I would read the Srila Prabhupada's quote, Mataji. Uh, Today is February 6th. The flies, they are finding out where is sore, and the bees, they are finding out where there is honey. Two classes: fault finding, collecting the good things. Similarly, there are many rascals who are simply fault finding. Blasphemy means you have good qualities, but still I am defaming you. The saintly person tends to overlook the bad qualities and see the good ones. Mayapur, February 6th, 1976. Jai Shila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Preethi Vilasini Mataji. I once again welcome you to the call, Mataji, and please take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji. Thanks, Sunil Prabhu, for that very beautiful recitation. And thank you, Harita Mataji, for your very warm welcoming. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम् नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवसादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे. My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायदाक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयति जयति देव कृष्णचैतन्यचन्द्र जयति जयति कीर्ति जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम् जयति 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 देव कृष्ण चैतन्य चन्द्र जयति जयति कीर्ति तस्य नित्या पवित्रा जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्ते जयति जयति नृत्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम्. Okay, 421. This is Caitanya Bhagavata. It is Antya Kanda, chapter 5, text 421. Chapter 5, Caitanya Bhagavat, Antya Kanda is titled The Glories of Lord Nityananda. And in this particular section, we are seeing how Nityananda Prabhu is traveling various places and preaching the cult of Krishna consciousness. Earlier, he was in Panihati Dham. And then he started moving in various places on both sides of the river Ganga. And we saw that he covered different villages. And in the previous session, we also saw the glories of Gadadhar Das. who was an associate of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu had some very close associates who were the cowherd boys. And we see how Gadadhar Das was a great personality in the he exhibited different symptoms of ecstasy, and all his wonderful glories was already seen. So today we are continuing from text 421 onwards. तबे नित्यानंद प्रभु वर कत धीने शची आई धिकी भारे इच्छा होइल मने. After some days, Nityananda Prabhu felt a desire to see Mother Shachi. So during his travels, Nityananda Prabhu, he wanted to meet Mother Shachi. शुभ यात्रा करिलेना नवद्वीप प्रति पारिषद गण सब करिया संहति. So he began an auspicious journey to Navadvip accompanied by his associates. So Nityananda Prabhu, he decided he will go towards Navadvip along with all his associates. And at that time, तबे आइले न प्रभु कड़दह ग्रामे पुरंदर पंडितेरा देवालय स्थाने. On the way, the Lord came to the house of Purandara Pandit in the village of Kodadaha. So Purandara Pandit, we have already heard about him in one of the previous classes. His identity is that of, any guesses who he is? His identity, Purandara Pandit.
Angada.
Yeah, Sunil Prabhu is an expert. So yes, he was Angada. Actually, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 11, there is a mention of this Purandara Pandit. The translation goes like this. It says, the 13th important devotee of Sri Nityananda Prabhu was Pandita Purandara, who moved the ocean of love of Godhead just like the Mandara hill. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, Pandita Purandara met Sri Nityananda Prabhu at Kodadaha. That's where we are. When Nityananda Prabhu visited this village, he danced very uncommonly and his dancing captivated Purandara Pandit. The Pandit was on top of a tree, and upon seeing the dancing of Nityananda, he jumped to the ground and proclaimed himself to be Angada, one of the camp devotees of Hanuman during the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. So Angada has a very special position among the Vanaras. He is considered he is considered the prince of the Vanaras, right? A very special personality, very powerful, and he did a lot of service to Lord Ramchandra. So we have this Angada, who is non-different from Purandara Pandit. Purandara Pandit, when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's beautiful uncommon dance, he immediately jumped from the tree and he proclaimed his identity. He said, I am indeed Angada. So this is what happens in this village called as Kodadaha. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Bengalis can correct me. But that is where Nityananda Prabhu has currently entered. Purandara Panditera Parama Unmala Vrikshera Vupare Chadi Kare Simhanada. Purandara Pandit became so intoxicated with ecstatic love that he climbed a tree and roared like a lion. 426. Bhahya nahi Shri Caitanya Dhasera Sharire Vyaghratadi Vyaya Vanera Bhitare. The body of Sri Chaitanya Dhasa displayed no sign of external consciousness. He would chase tigers, Vyagra. Vyagra means tiger. He would chase tigers through the forest. So now we saw the mention of one of the associates who is Purandara Pandit. But now there is a mention of another associate by the name Chaitanya Das. This Chaitanya Das, very famous personality, he is also called as Murari Chaitanya Das. So His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj in one of the classes, he says, the story of this Murari Chaitanya Das. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted everybody to become a guru. He wanted everybody to preach Krishna consciousness. He wanted them to go preach and spread Krishna consciousness, take disciples and so on. So there was a devotee by the name Sarang Thakur. very famous associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sharang Thakur was told again and again to go and preach and at least make one disciple by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. However, Sarang Thakur was very humble and he thought that I cannot make disciples. But then he saw Mahaprabhu kept insisting and he was very embarrassed that he was not able to fulfill the desire of Mahaprabhu. So one day he took a vow. He decided the very first person I see tomorrow morning, I will initiate that person. And there is no excuse with this. So what he does is he just walks towards the Ganga to take his early morning bath. And he had taken a vow, right, that day that whoever comes, the first person, I'm going to chant mantra in their ears and I'm going to initiate them. So he goes in the morning to take his bath, and there was a dead body that was floating on the Ganges. So that was the very first person he saw, and he pulled the dead body over and he chanted the initiation mantra in his ear. And by the power of his chanting, what happened? That person came to life, that person who was dead. And this person who was dead and who came back to life, his name was Murari Chaitanya Das. And that is the person we are seeing now, Murari Chaitanya Das. So he came back from the dead and he was definitely not afraid of death because he had already seen death, right? A person who has already seen death, for them, there can be two results. Some people who are very weak-minded, for them, it might become a trauma. It will become a trauma. Anything close to death, it's a traumatic experience for them. But there are others who are very fixed in Krishna consciousness. For them, yeah, I've seen death. What is there? They become like that. So this Murari Chaitanya Das, he had come back from death and he was not afraid of anything. He was not afraid of tigers. He would play with the tigers in the Ganges. This Nityananda Prabhu, he could actually empower anybody. So now there is a meeting between Nityananda Prabhu and Murari Chaitanya Das, right? So by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, this Murari Chaitanya Das had become practically fearless. Absolutely nothing could shake him. And it is also mentioned that the minute he was initiated by Sarang Thakur wanted to take him as his disciple. And Murari Chaitanya Das, he wanted to dedicate his life to Sarang Thakur. In fact, the news spread far and wide that he had come back to life and his parents came to take him back home. But he told his parents that now that I've gotten a new life, now my parent is Sarang Thakur. He is the one who has given me life. So I owe my life to him and I'm just going to be his disciple and I'm going to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. In Gauranga book, Maharaj, he writes that though Sarang Thakur, he did not take many disciples. This was the only disciple that he had taken, who is Murari Chaitanya Das. But however, Murari Chaitanya Das, he exhibited some uncommon behaviors. And in fact, he was so powerful that he had taken many, many disciples. He had many, many disciples. This Murari Chaitanya Das. And of course, he was an associate of Nityananda Prabhu, which makes it even more special. Okay. So, what did we see? We saw first Purandara Pandita and then we saw Chaitanya Dasa. So, Chaitanya Das, he did not even exhibit any signs of external consciousness and he would play with tigers in the forest. What else did he do? 427. Kabhulam phal dhiya uthe vyaghera upare krishnera prasade vyaghra langhitena pare. Sometimes he would jump on a tiger's back, yet by the mercy of Krishna, the tiger would not harm him. He didn't see differences. He saw everyone as spirit soul. He didn't see differences. And for him, it didn't matter whether it was a wild animal or a domestic animal or a human being. Everything was the same. Maha ajagar sarpa lai nija kole nirbhay chaitanya dasa thake kutuhale. Sometimes Chaitanya Das would fearlessly take a large python on his lap and play with it. So he would jump on tigers, he would play with pythons and so on. Vyaghera sahita kahela kelana nirbhaya hena kripa kare avadhuta mahashaya. He would fearlessly play with tigers. All this was possible by what? Not just because he had seen death, that is one aspect of it, but it all came from the mercy of Avadhut Nityananda, because of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. सेवक वत्सल प्रभु नित्यानंद राय ब्रह्मार दुर्लभ रस इंगिते बुझाया. Lord Nityananda Prabhu was affectionate to his servants. He freely gave them mellows of love that were rarely attained even by Brahma. Sevaka Vatsala Prabhu Nityananda Rai. He is very affectionate to his sevakas. He's very loving towards his devotees. Brahmara Dhurlabha Rasa Ingita Bhujaya. So he freely gave away the mellows of love, just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is, in fact, Nityananda Prabhu is far more merciful than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So such love of God, it's rarely attained even by Brahma. This was freely given to all the living entities by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Dasera Atma Vismriti Sarvata Nirantara Kahina Ananda Manakata. Chaitanya Das had no fear of external body, of which he was completely forgetful. He could spread all 24 hours of the day chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra or speaking about Chaitanya and Nityananda. This is how Chaitanya Das spent his time, 24/7. When a person is 24/7 Krishna conscious, what happens? Fearlessness is a byproduct. Automatically, he becomes fearless. So one of the qualities of a devotee is that he is fearless. Why do we have fear? Fear of losing, fear of losing mainly. Yeah, fear of losing many things. Mainly fear of losing life, right? That is what we are most attached to. We are most attached to our body. And fear, the biggest of all fears is fear of loss of life. But this Chaitanya Das, he had no fear for his external body. And he was completely oblivious of his bodily existence. So he could spend 24 hours in Krishna consciousness and be completely oblivious of his body and never fear about loss of anything. This is all possible by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. दुई तीन दिन माझी जलेर भीतरे थाके न काहंको कुक नहाया शरीरे. Sometimes he would remain submerged in water for 2 to 3 days, but he would feel no bodily inconvenience. In Gauranga book, our Jatak Swami Maharaj, he says that when he would go inside water, it's not like he just went in for fun. Okay, Murari Chaitanya Das. He would go underwater and he would be chanting the holy names. Even there also, even underwater also, he just goes there and he's oblivious of his surroundings, of his body, and he would continuously be chanting the holy names. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, aquatics always live in water, but land animals are unable to stay in the water for a long time. But Sri Chaitanya Das could live underwater like a stone without feeling any discomfort. He did not manifest any change in his consciousness. His consciousness was fully absorbed. He was in samadhi all the time. What kind of samadhi? Not the samadhi that great yogis do. Even Shaubhari Rishi, he was underwater for a very long time, but that was a different kind of yogic samadhi. But here we have this Murari Chaitanya Das. He was absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada says even doing Krishna consciousness, when you are chanting, hearing, dancing, thinking about the Lord, you can be in samadhi. It is considered 100% samadhi when you are fully absorbed. So that's how Chaitanya Das was. When he was under the water also, he was continuously chanting the holy names, oblivious of his body and his surroundings. And he was literally like a stone inside water without any discomfort. It didn't affect him even one bit. जड़प्राय अलक्षित सर्वव्यवहार परम उद्धाम सिंह विक्रम अपार. Thus he behaved almost like inert matter. Yet sometimes he displayed great enthusiasm like that of a lion. Chaitanya dasere yata bhaktira vikara katava kahite pariswakala para. It is not possible to describe the transformations of devotional service displayed by Chaitanya Das, for they are all unlimited. योग्य श्री चैतन्य दास मुरारी पंडित यार विशतेयो कृक्षण पाइये निशत. But it is understood anyone who was touched by the air that came in contact with Murari Chaitanya Das would certainly be enlightened in Krishna consciousness. Now that's a powerful statement. So, what to talk about coming in contact with Murari Chaitanya Das? Even if you come in contact with the air that has touched Murari Chaitanya Das, one can become Krishna conscious. Again, in Adi Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 11, verse number 20, there is a mention of Murari Chaitanya Das, and the translation says, there were many extraordinary activities performed by Murari, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes in ecstasy, he would slap the cheek of a tiger, and sometimes he would play with a venomous snake. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his Anubhashya, he has written, Murari Chaitanya Das was born in the village of Sarvrindavanapura, which is situated 2 miles from the Galasi station on the Badwan line. When Murari Chaitanya Das came to Navadvip, he settled in the village of Modadruma or Mamghachi Gram. At that time, he came to be known as Sharanga or Sharanga Murari Chaitanya Das. Of course, he was discovered by Sharanga Thakur, right? Meaning he was given rebirth by Sharanga Thakur. So he came to be known as Sharanga or Sharanga Murari Chaitanya Das. The descendants of his family, they still reside in Sarir Patta. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda chapter 5, which we are studying now, there is a statement that Murari Chaitanya Das had no bodily features, for he was completely spiritual. Thus, he would sometimes chase after tigers in the jungle and treat them like cats and dogs. He would slap the cheek of a tiger and take a venomous snake on his lap. He had no fear of his external body and he was completely forgetful. In fact, Jayaptak Swami Maharaj, in one place, he says he would treat tigers like pussycats. He would slap them and tell them, chant Hare Krishna. And the tiger, like a pussycat, would chant Hare Krishna. So, like that, he would spend all 24 hours of the day chanting the Maha Mantra and speaking about Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. And of course, sometimes for about 2 or 3 days, he would be underwater, not feeling any bodily inconvenience. He was just like a stone or a wood. But what did he do? He used his energy always in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And no one can describe his specific characteristics. It is understood that wherever Murari Chaitanya Das passed, whoever was present, they would be enlightened in Krishna consciousness simply by the atmosphere he created. That's why it is said that he, like Maharaj says, that he had so many more disciples than even his spiritual master, Sharang Thakur. Because just if you come in contact with such a great personality, automatically the Krishna consciousness just rubs off. And yesterday also, I think our Suksagri Mataji was mentioning about how in the presence of many great personalities, we automatically get inspired to become Krishna conscious. They don't have to tell us anything, just in their presence, just by seeing them, immediately we get inspired. So classic example again is Jayaptak Swami Maharaj, the one who has written the Gauranga book. Just in his presence, he doesn't even have to talk. You just be in his presence, you cannot help be Krishna conscious. It is natural, automatically it will rub off. So, like that, in the presence of Chaitanya Dasa, automatically everybody was Krishna conscious. Such a beautiful pastime of this personality. Continuing, 436. एबेकेह बालाय चैतन्य दास नामा स्वप्नेह न बाले Sri Chaitanya Gunagrama. Nowadays, now the flavor is changing a bit in the narration. So Vrindavan Das Thakur, he's talking a little bit about this name Chaitanya Das. He says nowadays someone calls himself Chaitanya Das, though he never chants the glories of Lord Chaitanya even in his dreams. See, We see that this Murari Chaitanya Das, yes, he was given rebirth by Sarang Thakur, who was a great devotee. And once he came back to life, he knew the purpose of life very clearly. He did not go back to his old ways of being a materialistic person. Or, all of us, it's not like we are pure devotees from day one, right? We have all these different conditionings. So it is easy for us to spring back to our old conditionings. But Murari Chaitanya Das, he was extraordinary. Once he came back to life, even when his parents called him, he said, "No, now my body belongs to Sarang Thakur. I will just execute uh, his desires." And he became a devotee, and he was rightly called as Murari Chaitanya Das. The reason is because he was continuously chanting the names of Chaitanya and Nityananda and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He was spreading the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So he was rightfully called as Chaitanya Das. But here Vrindavan Das Thakur says that there are many people who call themselves Chaitanya Das. I am Chaitanya Das. I have this name Chaitanya Das. It's become like a status title. But they are never chanting the glories of Chaitanya, even in their dreams, even in Swapna. Swapneha na bale Sri Chaitanya Gunagram. They are not even chanting the names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even in their dreams. How can such a person be called as Chaitanya Das? Advaitera Prananata Sri Krishna Chaitanya Yara Bhakti Prasade Advaitastha Satya Dhanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the beloved of Lord Advaita. Advaita became truly glorious as a result of his devotional service to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, again, the track is changing a bit. Why is Vrindavan Das Thakur talking about the title Chaitanya Das? He comes to the point. He says, see, when you think of Advaita Acharya, for him, who's his worshipable Lord? His worshipable Lord is Sri Krishna Chaitanya, right? And Advaita Acharya is glorified because of his devotion to Sri Krishna Chaitanya. But there are some confusion. There are some confusions in the minds of people. So he will get to that in a minute. 438. Jaya Jaya Advaitera Ye Chaitanya Bhakti Yahara Prasade Advaitera Sarva Shakti. All glories to Advaita's devotional service to Lord Chaitanya. Advaita was fully empowered by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So, Vrindavan Das Thakur is telling us that Chaitanya and Advaita are kind of, they both, Chaitanya and Advaita, in one sense, yes, you can call them the personality of Godhead. But Advaita Acharya, he was always the servant of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was indeed empowered by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. साधु लोके अद्वैतेरा ये महिमा घोषे के हा yiha advaitera nindahena vase. Saintly persons, they always glorify Advaita in this way, but some people, they consider this as an insult to Advaita Acharya. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is building up the case. He's telling, what did he tell so far? He said, Murari Chaitanya Das, he was rightly called as Chaitanya Das because he was fully Krishna conscious and he was always spreading the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But there are others, they get the title Chaitanya Das, but they don't even know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is and they don't even know who Advaita Acharya is. They are thinking Advaita Acharya is greater or he is the complete personality of Godhead and they think he is superior to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they have a wrong conception. But the truth is that Advaita Acharya is always in a mood where he is subservient to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But some people, when we say the truth, they consider this to be an insult to Advaita Acharya. Sehachara balaya Chaitanya Dasa nama papi ke maneyaya Advaitera sthana. Some useless people like this may call himself Chaitanya Das, but how can such a sinful person attain the shelter of Advaita? thinking that they are pleasing Advaita Acharya. They are trying to call Advaita to be far superior. But they are not pleasing Advaita Acharya, nor can they get the shelter of Advaita Acharya. So to explain this in the purport, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he tells us, one duplicitous devotee of Advaita Prabhu, he is the one that is being indicated in these verses. What he used to do is, he used to call himself as Chaitanya Das. His idea was that this Krishna Chaitanya was Radha and Advaita Acharya was Krishna. That is what he was under the impression. But that is wrong. He was simply calling him Chaitanya Das, but he was doing blasphemy. He was neither pleasing Advaita Acharya nor was he pleasing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what was his conception? He was thinking Sri Krishna Chaitanya was Radhika and Advaita was Krishna. But actually, Lord Chaitanya is a combined form of Radha and Govinda, and Advaita Prabhu is a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, though he is Mahavishnu. The so-called servant of Lord Chaitanya was actually averse to Lord Chaitanya. This Chaitanya Das, who had namesake Chaitanya Das, he was actually averse to Lord Chaitanya. And Sri Advaita Prabhu became fully empowered simply by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Yet this Ativadi or overly proud person, he considered himself a devotee of Advaita and did not realize this fact and thought that this statement, whenever people said that Advaita Acharya is always subordinate, or he had this submissive mood in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when everyone stated this fact at that time, he thought this was an insult to Advaita. But actually, he's the one who's insulting Advaita Acharya, because Advaita Acharya is not going to be pleased with this. Anyone who considers this sinful person a follower of Advaita could not understand the mentality of Advaita Acharya. So there are some people who say, I'm Chaitanya Das, but what happens? They have the wrong conception. This is also true with many impersonalists. There are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has induced the whole world to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But there are many impersonalists who say that we are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have come here to do the same thing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has asked us to do. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has asked us to spread the holy names. We are also on that mission of spreading the holy names, and they chant the Mahamantra. They do all this and they call themselves servants of Advaita and Nityananda. But what are they doing? They are simply spreading impersonalism. So such things are never pleasing to the Lord. One should be very clear about the philosophy. One should be very clear about the roles. Who is whom? What is the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What is the position of Nityananda Prabhu? Who is Advaita Acharya? There should be clarity in all these concepts. Otherwise, it is not at all pleasing. Ye papira advaitera loka bala ye advaita hridaya kabu nahi jane se. One who considers such a sinful person a follower of Advaita never understands the heart of Advaita. 442. राक्षसेरा नाम ये न कहे पुण्य जन ये मत ये सब चैतन्य दास गण. These persons may be known by the name Chaitanya Das or servant of Chaitanya, just like sometimes demons are called by the name Punya Jana or a pious person. So it is sarcastic, right? When you call a Rakshasa Punya Jana. Is he really Punya Jana? He's not. So when we say Chaitanya Das, it is almost like saying, you are not Chaitanya Das. You are in no way Chaitanya Das. That is only a sarcasm. In the Sanskrit language, the phrase Punya Jana is used as a synonym for Rakshasa or a demon. Therefore, to call oneself Chaitanya Das is simply a method of deceiving people. Those who do not understand the deep meaning of the phrase Punya Jana rather consider that as a good connotation, but in actuality, it is used to give the opposite meaning. It's the opposite. Similarly, if names like Sri Chaitanya Das are not indicative of the actual meaning, but are used to indicate an offender of Lord Chaitanya, then such a person with such a name can never become an actual servant. So sometimes Rakshasas are called as Punyajana. It doesn't mean that they are Punyajana. So similarly, such people who call themselves Chaitanya Das and are really not servants of Chaitanya or Nityananda or Advaita. They are only the opposite of what Chaitanya Das can truly mean. 443. कतदिने थाकी नित्यानंद कड़द हे सप्तग्राम आइलेन सर्वगण सहे. So after passing some time in Kadadaha like this, after associating with our Murari Chaitanya Das and Purandara Pandita, then Nityananda, he went with his associates to Saptagram. And Saptagram, again in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, there is some description about this place. But let's see what Nityananda Prabhu did there. Sei Saptagrame Ache Sapta Shri Sthaniya Jagate Vidita Se Triveni Ghatanama. In this village called Saptagram, there is a place associated with the 7 sages known throughout the world as Triveni Ghat. So Saptagram is known as a place where the 7 sages had come once. And there is also a confluence of the 3 rivers. So the confluence of the Ganga, Saraswati and Yamuna is known as Triveni even today. And the riverbed of Yamuna is still found near Kancharapala. Some time ago, this river used to flow into the Triveni Sangama. Reports that Yamuna riverbed existed near Govardhanga is still current. So basically, Nityananda Prabhu, he comes to this place called as Saptagram in the specific region called as Triveni Ghat, where the 3 rivers are known to have merged at this point. So let's see what's happening there. Sei Ganga Ghate Purve Saptarishi Gana Tapakari Pailena Govinda Charana. What did the Saptarishis do? The 7 sages previously in this place, they performed austerities and they attained the lotus feet of Govinda on the banks of the river Ganga here. So that's why it's called as Saptagram, because of the Saptarishis. Tina Devi se sthana ekatra milana Jhanavi Yamuna Saraswati Sangama. The 3 goddesses, the 3 rivers, Jhanavi is Ganga Devi, Yamuna and Saraswati, they merge together at this particular spot. So it's called as Triveni Sangam. Prasiddha Triveni Ghata Sakala Bhuvane Sarva Papakshaya Yara Darashane. This place is renowned throughout the world as the Triveni Ghat. And by taking darshan of this place, what happens? All your sins are destroyed. All sins get destroyed when one takes bath in Triveni Ghat. Nityananda Prabhu Vara Parama Anande Sei Ghate Snana Kari Lena Sarva Vrinde. Nityananda and his associates, they took bath in this Triveni Ghat in ecstasy once they came here. And now we are going to meet another personality. Who's this personality? Uddharana Dhatha Bhagyavante Re Mandira Rahilena Tata Prabhu Triveni Ratire. Lord Nityananda, he stayed on the bank of the Triveni in the house of the most fortunate Uddharana Dhatha. Thoughts, answers of who this Uddharana Datta is and how is he connected to all of us? Any thoughts?
Prabhupada came in his lineage.
Yes.
Haribol, yes. Srila Prabhupada came in the lineage of Uddharana Datta. So let's see who this Uddharana Datta is and what community he came from and so on. Kaya mano vakya nityanandera charana bhajilena akative datta udarana. Uddharan that sincerely worshipped the feet of Nityananda with his body, mind and speech. Nityananda Swarupera Seva Adhikara Pailena Uddharana Kibha Bhagyatara. How fortunate was Uddharan who received the opportunity of serving Nityananda Swarup. So all of them, all these personalities that we are seeing, they are all associates of Nityananda Prabhu. birth after birth, janama janama, Nityananda Swarupishwara, janama janama, Uddharano, Tahara Kinkara. Birth after birth, Nityananda Swarup was his master, and birth after birth, Uddharan Thakur was his servant. So there was an eternal connection between the two. यतेक वर्णिक कुल उद्धारण होइते पवित्र होइला द्विदा नायिका इताहे. There is no doubt that the entire mercantile community was delivered by Uddharan Datta. So everybody was delivered, the entire mercantile community, because he also appeared in the Suvarnavanik community, the community of bankers and gold merchants. And actually, according to social consideration, they are considered a little inferior. They are inferior, but still they received the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. There is no doubt that people from any community, any background, irrespective of what family prestige you have, whatever it may be, they can receive the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Inferior mercantile communities like Kalayora and Bhanghari also became inclined to worship of Hari. Now, this was a mercantile community, yes, but generally they were Brahmanas actually. They were Brahmanas who took up the profession of Vaishyas. So they became a little lower caste, okay? Meaning, when you, as long as you're doing as per your ashram and varna, you're still considered okay. But then when you start dealing with money, a Brahmana caste person starts dealing with gold and money and becomes a merchant, it is not a good social status to do so. So in those days, of course, today everybody is doing Shudra's job. That's a different story. But in that little few years ago also, it was not considered to be good standard. So they are known to be of a slightly lower standard. And such communities were also favored by Nityananda Prabhu. Varnika tarite Nityananda Avatara Varnikera Dila Prema Bhakati Adhikara. Nityananda Prabhu, he advented to deliver the mercantile community. He gave them qualification to develop ecstatic love of God. So in the Saptagram, whom did he see? He saw Uddharan Dutt Thakur. Now the Saptagrame Sabhavani Kere Ghara Ghare Apanai Nitai Chandra Ketane Vihare. What did Nityananda do? Nitai Chandra would personally enjoy kirtan pastimes in the houses of these merchants at Saptagram. So anyone who encourages the process of chanting, congregational chanting, anyone who encourages the process of Bhagavad Shravan, such families are highly benefited and they all come to Krishna consciousness. Ajnat Sukriti. Even if you do it knowingly or unknowingly, whatever, it goes a very, very long way. So this Vanik community, this mercantile community, they were all benefited. They were all blessed profusely by Nityananda Prabhu. And we got a gem out of that community. And who has blessed the rest of the world? Srila Prabhupada. He is the Patra. He's the carrier of this mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And he has spread it not just in some region in Bengal or not just in India. He has spread it all over the world, not just to the mercantile community or a few communities here and there. He has spread this to the entire world, irrespective of what background, faith, religion, race, whatever one may be. That is Srila Prabhupada. Varnika Sakala Nityanandira Charana Sarva Bhave Bhajilena Laira Sharana. All the merchants took shelter at the lotus feet of Nityananda and worshipped him in all respects. Varnika Sabhara Krishna Bhajana Dhikite Mani Chamatkara Paya Sakala Jagate. The people of the entire world became astonished seeing the merchants doing devotional service to Krishna. So merchants are all about penny, they're all about money. It just overtakes your consciousness, right? When you're doing some job, a lot of your consciousness is absorbed in that. So when our consciousness is continuously absorbed in counting money and trying to accumulate wealth, that is very difficult for one to divert focus to Krishna consciousness. But then they took shelter at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu and they worship Nityananda Prabhu in all respects, and therefore they were the recipients of Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. So the world was astonished, seeing how even the merchants had attained devotional service to Sri Krishna. Nityananda Prabhuvara Mahima Apara Vanika Adhama Mukha Murkha Yekarila Nisthara. The glories of Nityananda Prabhu are unlimited. He delivered even the foolish and degraded merchants. So these Suvarnavaniks, they were not very well educated. They were always absorbed in thinking about mundane wealth. Their hearts had become polluted. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he delivered all these merchants who were present there at that time. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, it so happened that later some so-called devotees inimical to Nityananda took birth among those merchants, and they have become as well they have become as well as are becoming averse to Hari. So even in that community also, though that community itself was purified, still there were there were other people who took birth in these communities, and they started spoiling the community, and atheists came into being in that community as well, and they became averse to Lord Hari. Just like we were discussing about the even followers of Advaita Acharya, in fact, even some of the sons of Advaita Acharya, they also had a wrong understanding about the position of Advaita Acharya. So in any family, anything can happen. Yes, our family may have the special blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, but then anything can happen. We can have elements who are disturbing, like the case of Advaita Acharya's family. In fact, there is a nice pastime about Advaita Acharya, just to divert a little bit. It is said that Advaita Acharya was always in this mode of being a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being much younger to him in age, he worshipped Advaita Acharya, but Advaita Acharya never liked that worship. He always knew his position, and he knew the position of Mahaprabhu. So you all know this story of how once Advaita Acharya, he wanted to voluntarily irritate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he started speaking the impersonalist philosophy from Yoga Vasishta, and then later Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got so angry and started beating him up. It was just not that one pastime, but then throughout this Advaita Acharya had that he carried that mood. In fact, in Madhya Leela, chapter 15, it is mentioned that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would go to the Jagannath temple every day. And after visiting the Jagannath temple, he would go and meet Haridas Thakur in his residence. Then after all this was done, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come back to Gambhira every day, he would sit and chant on his beads. And at that time, this Advaita Prabhu, he would come there to worship the Lord. And while worshipping Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya would offer him some scented water to wash his mouth and feet. And Advaita Acharya would smear the sandalwood pulp all over the Lord's body, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. Advaita Prabhu would place flower garlands around the neck of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he would place tulsi manjaris, and with folded hands Advaita Acharya would offer obeisances and prayers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So like this he would go and worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And after being worshipped by Advaita Acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take the dish that is containing the flowers and tulasi that was given, and he would worship Advaita Acharya in return. So this was the mood in which they both interacted. But though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would again re-worship Advaita Acharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that because Advaita Acharya was much senior to him. But Advaita Acharya's mood was that he knew his position, and he knew the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would in return worship Advaita Acharya, and he would be chanting a mantra, and he would say, whatever you are, whoever you are, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. And then the Lord would start making some sounds within his mouth, and he would make Advaita Acharya laugh. So in this way, Advaita Acharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they would offer obeisances to each other. And Advaita Acharya would send invitations to Mahaprabhu and ask him to come and honor prasadam in his house on a regular basis. So like this was the unique relationship that both of them had shared. But there was a lot of confusion among various followers, and they became averse to the worship of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They did not understand the correct position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So like that, we see when Nityananda Prabhu also went to Saptagram, where the Uddharan Dutt Thakur and those families, the Suvarnavani community was there. There also, they all became great devotees by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. But there were some elements that who were averse to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came into that particular community. Saptagrame Prabhuvar Nityananda Raya Ganasa Sankirtana Karela Lilaya. Lord Nityananda, like this, from one place to the other, he went on and he enjoyed Sankirtan pastimes, and especially he enjoyed Sankirtan pastimes in the homes of the Suvarnavani community in Saptagram. Saptagrame yata hoila kirtana vihara shata vistare otaha nari varni bhara. The Kirtan pastimes that took place in Saptagram cannot be described even in 100 years. Purveyena sukha hoila nadiya nagare seimata sukha hoila Saptagrama pure. Saptagram became filled with the same ecstasy that had previously filled the entire district of Nadia. Ratri dine kshudha Krishna nai nidra bhaya sarvadike haila hari sankirtana maya. Whether it is a day or night, people did not feel the urges of hunger, thirst, fear, or sleep. All directions were filled with the congregational chanting of the holy names. प्रति गृहे गृहे प्रति नगरे छठवरे नित्यानंद प्रभुवर कीर्तन vihare. Like this, Nityananda Prabhu, he enjoyed Kirtan pastimes in every house, every neighborhood, and every village. In a neighborhood or a park, wherever he went, Nityananda Prabhu, he was enjoying Sankirtan pastimes everywhere. Nityananda Swarupera Avisha Dekite Hena Nahi Ye Vihvala Nahaya Jagate. There was no one in the world who was not overwhelmed on seeing the ecstatic mode of Nityananda Swarupa. And Anyera ye daya Vishnu drohin ye yavana taharo parda padmela ila sharana. What to speak of others? Even the Yavanas who were inimical to Vishnu, they took shelter at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. So Yavanas by nature, they are non-devotees, but even they also they were being moved by the presence of Nityananda Prabhu, and they also took shelter at the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. Yavanera nane dhekiya prema dhara brahmane opanake karena dikhara. When the Brahmanas saw the Yavanas' tears of ecstatic love, they condemned themselves. So we have also seen that in this time and age when we see the people in the Western world taking up to Krishna consciousness so beautifully. Actually, we are insignificant in front of them. And in fact, the truth is many people, they came to Krishna consciousness just observing the Westerners take to Krishna consciousness. They are so amazed at how the Westerners can be they're such dedicated devotees, so much sincerity in their hearts. And when we see that, we think, oh, I'm from a Brahmana family, I'm from this family, that family, I had all the background and backing and whatnot, and still I'm not able to take up to this process. So like this, the Brahmanas, they were thinking they're very exalted and the Yavanas are degraded and they don't have any samskaras. But when they saw that their hearts had changed and they were exhibiting symptoms of ecstasy, that time these Brahmanas were feeling ashamed and they were thinking we should also follow like the Yavanas. Jaya Jaya Avadhuta Chandra Mahasaya Yahara Kripaya Hena Sabaranga Haya. All glories to Avadhuta Chandra Mahashaya, by whose mercy such pastimes took place. And the last verse for today, in this way, Nityananda Swarupa happily enjoyed pastimes in Saptagram and Ambuya Mulluka. Then he wanted to go to the house of Advaita Acharya. So that we will see. I'll just read 469 so that we have a clear number to start from. We'll start from 470. Yes, Sunil Prabhu, we'll start from 70 so that it's a round number to remember. 469. Tabe kata dine ai lena shanti pure acharya gosai priya vyaghera ghare. Then after some days, he went to the house of his dear Advaita Acharya in Shantipur. So we'll continue from 470. Okay. Thank you. And any thoughts, questions, additions, comments, please go ahead.
Thank you, Preethi, Vilasini Mataji. Thank you for the beautiful class and enlightening us on this topic. Yeah, dear devotees, please go ahead with your question. Sunil Prabhu, please go ahead. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandatvanam. Thank you so much. Beautiful class and all the associates of Mahaprabhu, Pavandana and Chaitanya Dasa and Uddhavan Thakur. Mataji, just I was thinking like this Chaitanya Dasa who was Vrindavan Das Thakur was so heavy on him. Like what specialty he found in Advaita Prabhu. Like we worship Advaita Prabhu to get Mahaprabhu Nityanand Prabhu. But what was his understanding?
Oh, he was thinking, he was under the impression that Advaita Acharya is Krishna. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. He didn't think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. He thought Advaita Acharya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. And this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like Radharani trying to serve Advaita Acharya. So that was the understanding he had, which was kind of contradictory. Actually, it is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Radha Krishna combined and Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu Sadashiva combined. So he had a wrong thought process and understanding, and he thought everyone should be subservient to Advaita Acharya because Advaita Acharya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Makes
Okay,
sense.
and yeah. So all of his sons, they were also like these teachings only, like 3 sons. They got deviated.
Yeah, they were also getting deviated. They all glorified Advaita Acharya as being the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu subservient to him.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Mataji, I have one question, Mataji. Mataji,
Yeah.
so there is some sampradaya that is following only Advaita Acharya?
I think it got diluted. It's not existing today. So.
Okay, but previously it was there, right, Mataji?
Not really a sampradaya. They were a bunch of people who were doing that. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Anything else?
Dandatvanam Mataji.
Haribol, please add.
Haribol. No, I'm just adding a little bit of self-realization here.
Yes.
When I was young, I went to Africa. And first time I went to Hare Krishna temple, there I saw white people, doing Aarti Puja and mothers in sari. And I was wondering what kind of, who has done this like this, This is my first exposure like that. And then I said, okay, if these guys can speak Sanskrit and like that, why not me?
Yeah.
So that's why I got induced into studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata. But real change came when I saw one Masai. Masai Prabhu was doing Aarti Puja, deity worship. I was completely, because, Masais, they drink cow blood directly from the live cow, is what I know in Africa. They do like that. 4 or 5 Masais hold the cow, and one guy pierces the jugular vein in the neck of the cow with a sharp bone. And then the blood comes out, they drink it live like that. This kind of people. So I said, how come this Masai Prabhu is doing Aarti Puja? So after the Aarti, I went to him and asked him, Prabhu, how come you are doing this like this? He said, my community sent me to New York for, scholarship studies and like that. So that's where I came across Hare Krishna people. And from there, I became devotee. So I said, if some Masai can become devotee, why not me? Like that. So this is how we can get such inspiration from these people and all this mercy of Srila Prabhupada, you know, that he can convert such kind of people into devotees, which is very miraculous. And Bhagavatam says, Kirat Hunandra Pulind Pulkisa Abhir Samvayavana Khasa. So it's a miracle because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, and Srila Prabhupada mercy like that. So I just wanted to share that, Mata. Very good.
Beautiful. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is no raised hand, Mataji, but devotees, if anyone has any realizations or questions for Mataji, please go ahead. Yeah, today's class was clear, Mataji. It was.
There's nothing in today's class, so obviously I was just reading.
Yeah, it was very nice, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for today's class, and we would like to pay our obeisances, Mataji. Thank you for giving your valuable time, and we will be looking forward for your association in future, Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa
sindhubhyam
sindhubhyam
patitanam
patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo namah.
Shri
Hare Krishna
Chaitanya
Mataji.
Bhagavad ki
Hare Krishna.
jai.
Jai.
Her Grace Preethi Vilasini Mataji ki
Mataji
jai.
ki jai.
Thank you, beta. Koti
Hare
koti
Krishna
dandavat,
Mataji.
Jai
Hare
Shri
Krishna,
Prabhupada.
Mataji.